Hi everybody, so welcome back to this channel. In this video I want to talk a little bit about why you keep going back to your narcissist. Why do you continue to put yourself in situations where you end up letting your guard down and you keep getting hurt over and over again? And you might not even realize that you are in a relationship with a narcissist. I'm hoping that if you do stumble across this video, that it does kind of help shed a little bit of light on your situation, how to understand it better. So when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you're basically setting yourself up to be hurt over and over and over again. And I don't want to say that there's nothing wrong with that, but I also don't want to say that, it's okay, or, that it is such a bad situation, because I would say 9 times out of 10, we don't know we're walking into those types of relationships until we're already well set into the relationship. In my experience with my narcissist, it took me about a year and a half before I realized something wasn't right. And even at that point, when I started, catching on to a lot of the things that he was doing, and I would confront him, he always made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. And then, he would turn it around on me, the gaslighting, and I would feel like the bad person, and I would feel like I was the one overreacting. And these weren't small things. These were, ridiculous things that as a couple, nobody should be putting the other person through. And so even after that, it probably took me another 5 years before I really started coming to terms with what was really happening. And even at that point, it probably took me an additional year for me to finally learn the type of personality and the type of person that I was actually dealing with. So it took me a very long time, and it could take you even longer. I have seen some people in relationships with narcissists who are in their relationship for 20 years, 15 years before they even realize, some of them are just that good at hiding their game, or the other person just refuses to see, the situation as it really is, things like that. So I want to go over a couple of reasons why you keep going back to the narcissist. And the first one is going to be gaslighting. I don't have the professional definition of gaslighting in front of me, but it's basically them being able to confuse you and get you to believe something that isn't true, where you start questioning your own memory and questioning your own thoughts, and you basically come to a point where you're not even sure if what you remember is the correct thing. And then you just say, okay, you know what, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not recalling it correctly, and I'll just go with what they say. That is the biggest mistake you can do with the narcissist, is to just honestly believe every single thing that they tell you. And I know that that's going to be difficult. Now, once you are in a committed relationship with this person, it's going to become very easy for them to manipulate you and for them to persuade you into their way of thinking, and to make you think that everything's, if something does happen, that it's either okay, that you're overreacting, or that you're the one at fault for their actions. They will never take full responsibility for their actions, and that is a difficult thing for both parties to swallow. So if the narcissist is caught cheating on you, you catch them. It doesn't matter what type of proof that you have, they are going to say that it is not true. They're going to say that it's not as you think it is, or you're overreacting, or they're going to tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. Or in my case, I had one example where I firmly believed that my spouse was cheating on me, and I happened to get my hands on his work phone, and there was a bunch of text messages to a woman, and they had been talking about being intimate with each other. And when I confronted him about it, he told me that he lent his phone to his coworker, and I knew that this just was not possible because the text messages were so scrambled in between conversations about work and conversations about them, kind of like they were holding two conversations with each other simultaneously. And I think they did that, or he did it this way on purpose so that he could erase the more personal messages and leave the work ones, so that it would throw me off if he ever did get caught, or talking to her, whatever it was, that, he'd already have messages there where they were talking about work. And so he used that to say that his coworker was really the one sending those messages. So I said, well, are you guys sitting by each other, texting back and forth? Like, then he knows about this too, because he's seeing the messages, like what's going on. And, it was a big deal. So another technique that the narcissists use to make sure that they keep you in their clutches or to get you to go back is them accusing you, them saying that it's your fault that they did those behaviors. Another example would be if the narcissist were to cheat on you, or having an emotional affair, or whatever the thing is, doing drugs. It could be anything. And they will turn around and say that their actions are caused by your faults. They might tell you that, well, I did this because you went out with your friends and left me by myself, and I was feeling like crap, and I really needed you that day. It can be the most ridiculous thing, and it honestly just works for them. It is just crazy. Something else in the same category is them cheating on you and them blaming you. They're going to say that, well, I went and got such and such from someone else, or I was giving them attention because you were no longer paying attention to me, and you neglected me, and they felt like you weren't paying attention to them, giving them enough attention. Maybe you weren't giving them sex every day, and they absolutely need that. Maybe you missed dinner a couple of times because you were out with your friends or having a date, like a girls' night or whatever it is. They're going to use that against you, and they're going to make it seem, if you're really stuck in a relationship with a narcissist, they are going to convince you that it is your fault that they cheated on you. Whatever it is, whatever they did, maybe it wasn't even sex, but they're going to tell you that it's your fault. And at some point, you're going to believe it, because I've been there in that same situation. That is the main part of their method of how they get you to stay, and why you keep going back, because deep inside of you, know the truth, and you know that things just aren't exactly the way that they say they are. And in those cases, especially where they're blaming you and they're saying that all of their problems that they're having are because of you, you're going to feel obligated, not obligated, but you're going to want to so bad prove to them that it is not you and that you aren't doing anything wrong, that it's going to make you go back to them and try even harder, further feeding into their supply, because they see that you're doing all of these things, and they see that you're trying so hard to be the person that they want you to be. The ongoing need to
prove that you aren't the person that's doing things wrong, and to try to prove that they are the ones doing things wrong is the entire game for the narcissist. As long as they can see that, and that unfortunately, until you realize that you are in a relationship with a narcissist and you just keep feeding into it and you keep thinking that you're the one that's doing things wrong, you're going to keep going back to them. Their gaslighting skill and their ability to manipulate your thoughts and the way that you feel is going to keep haunting you, so to speak, into being in that relationship with them, because they have this ability to make you feel bad and to make you feel sorry for them or whatever it is. And it's all gaslighting, the manipulation, the lies that they come up with. It is all made to manipulate the way that you think so that you will go back to them. They can make up lies about their health, so many things. There really is no end to their madness, and there are no limits to what they will say to you. So if you guys have any other thoughts on, something that narcissists did to make you go back to them, or other tactics that they've used to hold you in the relationship, or things that maybe not specifically you, people in your life that you know about, or whatever it is, I'd love to hear about them. I'd love to chat with you guys in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to end this video here. I do have so many other videos lined up that I hope can shed a lot more insight for you guys, and I look forward to talking with you guys in the next one.